All right, everybody, we're back, and I'm here with Mrs. M, and we are doing a movie review for Camp Cold Brook. Now, I had shown Max and Mrs. M the trailer simply because I like Danielle Harris and she was in it, but we must say it intrigued us enough to go and watch it. Now, for a little info, this was directed by Andy Palmer, who also did the Funhouse Massacre. Written by Alex Carl. Stars Chad Michael Murphy, who plays Jack. He's in One Tree Hill and House of Wax.
Murray. You said Murphy.
Excuse me. And Danielle Harris plays Angela. Halloween 4 and 5, and Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. And the movie was set in the movie world and filmed in Oklahoma. Everything was filmed there. Now, I'm going to do a overview and then spoilers at the end. So, first, we'll just say this movie is about a reality TV ghost hunting show that needs to kick it up to get a new season. So, one of the crew of 4, because it's Jack and Angela, and then 2 assistants. One is the guy who's like a tech, and the girl's like a PA or a helper or assistant. And the girl suggests Camp Cold Brook, where in 1990 a massacre happened. And so they go and check it out, and as they go, they get hints of how bad it is from the people who live there. Say, don't go there, and bad stuff will happen, and it's cursed. Just like any horror movie, but as the movie goes, it gives you a nice twist of just what happened and how it will end and what's going on. Now, some of the pros will go first. I like that they admit camp horror movies are the thing, so they're going to try that. And there's some really cool ghost scares where, you get little kid ghosts, and like they subvert the usual. Like, there are some regular jump scares. Now, I'm not just saying this but Danielle Harris does a good job of, she's watching monitors and things start going wrong and she freaks out. Then, to give a little bit without going too far, you do find out that all the kids that were there in 1990 killed themselves and each other. You find out through the movie that it has to do with witchcraft, and they see the titular witch. They start to find little symbols that they think that if they can cover those up, it might help. As a reality TV, they go set up cameras everywhere, so that's a good, to me, way for the movie going, okay, how can we see everything? Now, some of the cons, and this is where I'm going to go to Mrs. M for a second. Some of it didn't make sense or go into the next scene properly. Like, we were watching it and you're like, wait, what happened? What is that?
Yeah, like the tech guy. He's in one place and then you go to the next scene and he's in a completely different place. How did he get there? Where did he go? Did he just mysteriously appeared in the cabin when he was walking out of the door?
Man, they don't tell you. And some of the stuff they do tell you in weird ways, but now overall, before we go into spoilers, I will say that I did like it. It was a little different. It wasn't your usual horror movie. So we'll give our ratings at the end. So what did you think overall?
I enjoyed it. I liked it. It was a good movie. There was one scene that got me and I did jump. But it was a little predictable, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we comically, while watching it, started to guess. It got some things wrong, but we started to get some things right, and she did guess the ultimate end. But even though that happened, we didn't know up until a certain point that that's what was going to happen. And they threw a couple red herrings here and there, but overall, it was, I I will first say I recommend it if you haven't seen it and you want a good little horror movie that's not too long, not too short. It makes enough sense, and the acting is great. Now, from this point on, we're going to go into spoilers. At the end, we're going to rate it, so if you want to come back, come back. Now, spoilers. You find out that a woman who is a witch, her daughter got ran over by a truck. They see that ghost girl in the street on the way to the camp. She poisoned the food and made all the kids kill themselves in a really cool scene, I must say. Now it's weird because it's kids,
right,
but they all stand up and start beating each other and killing each other, and she's doing that to get back at everybody. You find out through a little exposition, but it works, that because they find a book, a journal. Was it the witch's journal or just the kids' journal?
They didn't say whose journal it was, but they found it in one of the cabins.
Because I think, see, this is one of those examples they don't outright say, but I think the tech guy fell asleep in what was supposed to be like the witch's cabin.
Yeah.
But they don't say that. Those are things unexplained. But anyway, so you find out that 2 kids escaped, and they needed 30 kids to complete her spell, but only 28 die. So as the movie keeps going, I said at first that the helper PA girl,
Emma.
I said, Emma, thank you. I said, it's kind of weird. It was her idea to go there. She's acting a little fishy with the way she's staring at things.
Yeah.
But that was a little bit early. And then Mrs. M said, I bet you Jack and maybe Emma are the 2 kids. And at one point they walk to a creek. It's more like a little river. Well, they walk across it, but anyway, and you find out it's a dream, but Emma's face turns into a skeleton kind of, which is in the trailer. You just don't know. But you find out, yes, they were the last 2, but Emma has been haunted by the witch since she escaped. Now, one thing I didn't like was that Jack, being the other guy, didn't remember.
Right.
Over 30 years later, or whatever it's supposed to be.
Yeah, he looked like around the time you would start having your memories and you remember things. So about maybe 10, 11, he looked when they did the flashback.
Yeah, like if she was having dreams, he should have had something, or they could have explained she put a spell to make him forget or something.
Right.
But that's like I said, small things you can deal with. Because overall, it's different. It's not a slasher killer. It's not just paranormal activity for nothing. When Danielle Harris is looking through the camera and sees 2 kid ghosts, pulls the camera down, and they're not there, that's cool. Like, she sees something on the screen, and then it didn't record, or the screen breaks. They do a good job, because reality TV, there are ghost hunting shows on now. Some are beyond it, but then again, I watch Bigfoot shows, so we're not going to go there. But, again, the acting was good. You had 2 really good actors, Chad Michael Murray and Danielle Harris.
Right.
Although Danielle Harris did die as one of the first people. It was only 4, so you had to.
Well,
you didn't make
technically, I would think Kevin would have been first,
right?
Since he drowned in the river.
But it's not going to really affect my overall judgment. But she did a good job of being scared and trying. Like, she pulls out a rosary. She's like, "This has got to stop." Emma pulls the rosary off her neck, breaks her neck with a brick, and you're like, "Oh, here we go." And then she lays it out that, "Haha, it was me and you, and I got to kill you." Now, she does hit Jack with a rock. Then, this is the only other big problem I had. Right after that, Jack wakes up in the hospital. And it's like, okay, what is this jump? Now, this is the other thing that I called out. Jack's wife comes in and says, well, our 2 daughters are with the babysitter. And I said, watch the babysitter be like the witch or something. And what happens? They look at a pad to talk to the daughters, and the witch sticks her head in and walks off.
It might have been the witch's daughter.
Well,
I'm thinking that the ritual did complete itself with.
That's true. Well, no, he wasn't dead though.
Kevin and Angela
yeah.
being dead. There's the 30. on the,
That's
the
right.
ground. So,
And plus, Emma's at the hospital.
yes.
And he's looking at her like, what's going on? And I guess maybe because he got hit in the head, he can't. But he shouldn't. And some go, wait, you killed her.
Yeah.
Because he even asked where Angela is. And I'd be like, hey, you killed. Never mind. But anyway. Overall, so there's like the basic story. It's a witch's curse. And it needed to be completed. They got brought back. I thought it was a neat little horror movie story because it was something different, and they took stuff from actual reality because there are reality TV shows going on, brought it to a camping camp. There's always going to be camp horror stories. Friday the 13th to Sleepaway Camp to now, always going to be there. So now we're going to move into our rankings. We're going to go out of 1 out of 10. So I'll let you go first, Mrs. And what would you give Camp Coldbrook?
I would give it a 7 out of 10 just for the predictability and for us being able to say, okay, well, we know this is going to happen, and it actually happened. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
But a 7's high enough that you're showing like you did enjoy it.
Oh, absolutely
Even
enjoyed it.
Some of the scares were good. You got a little tension in there. And even if we could call it was still worth watching once you knew.
Absolutely.
For that, I'm going to go with an 8.0. And it would be a 9, but yes, they killed Danielle Harris. But anyway, yeah, a little bit down because it was predictable, but what horror movie isn't these days? Almost all can be, but this came out of left field. And I would like to point out that when me and Max looked at and reviewed the trailer for this movie, might have been 2018. It was a while back because that's when the movie was slated to come out, and I think it got pushed back, but whatever. Just to make sure I get it right. Yes, Andy Palmer himself jumped into the comments of the video and thanked us. So I was going to watch the movie anyway, but I'm so glad just to show how friendly this guy is. And this whole cast was likable. You also get, some outside, like Jack's mom pops up. And then you see his wife now and again. But they don't harp on two things too long because that's a problem. And so, with maybe a little more details here and there or connecting some of the scenes, you might have had a perfect horror movie. But over a lot of the schlock that's out there, I would recommend Camp Coldbrook, would you?
Yes.
So we recommend it. So here from the Dude Brothers, here at Mrs. M, I'm Chubbs. Till next time, over and out.